Tonight on DC News Now, the first case of measles in Virginia this year. We have the locations where people may have been exposed. A 19-year-old charged with murdering a Loudoun County teen last weekend. Tonight, the community coming together for a candlelight vigil. And the latest in the case of a wrongly deported Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Senator Chris Van Hollen is talking about what's next after his trip to El Salvador.
And a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of the viewing area. We'll talk about that, show it to you live, and give you a heads up for Easter Sunday's forecast coming up.
Plus, the body of a missing Maryland woman found in Prince George's County. More on the two people charged in her death.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Daniel Hamburg. Breaking news from Virginia. Health officials confirm the first 2025 measles case in the state. The Virginia Department of Health says the patient is a child between the ages of 0 to 4 from the Northwest region. They say the child recently traveled internationally. Officials say they're coordinating efforts to identify anyone who may have been exposed. Exposure sites in the Commonwealth include the Kaiser Permanente Caton Hill Medical Center in Woodbridge. They say potential risk of exposure was between 10 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. this past Tuesday. And at the Kaiser Permanente Fredericksburg Medical Center, that risk of exposure was between noon and 5 this past Wednesday. And across the country, there are now 800 people with the measles, with Texas driving the spike in infections. The CDC says 600 patients are in Texas, and it's also where 2 children who were not vaccinated have died. Maryland has 3 people with the measles. And in D.C., they're dealing with its second case of someone with the disease visiting the district. The latest was at a Five Guys in Northwest on April 5th. For more updates on measles cases in our area, you can visit dcnewsnow.com. We have an update from a story we brought you last night. A man has been arrested for the Friday kidnapping of a woman in Bethesda. 31-year-old Robert Dieter was arrested after police received reports of a kidnapping around 2:30 p.m. yesterday. Officers say they began following Dieter's car after locating it on Democracy Boulevard with a woman in the passenger seat. According to police, the woman jumped out of the car as they approached Rockledge Drive and I-270, where she confirmed with officers that Dieter kidnapped her at gunpoint. The woman added she did know him before the kidnapping. Dieter now faces charges of kidnapping, first-degree assault, stalking, harassment, and multiple handgun charges. All right, let's get a check, first check of the forecast. DC News Now meteorologist Scott Sumner here. I know we're dealing with some pretty bad weather in parts of our area.
Yeah, right behind me is I-68 at US 219. There has been a lot of thunder and lightning out in this general area and wind-swept rain moving through with a very fast-moving storm. The parts of eastern Garrett County, northeastern Garrett County, there you see a flash of lightning, is being impacted by this storm, and this is going to move into Allegheny County and over towards Cumberland County. You can see there it is. Cumberland is in the line of these storms, so batten down the hatches here. Winds potentially gusting up to around 65 or 70 miles an hour with this particular storm as it moves at about 60 to 65 miles an hour across portions of northern Garrett County. You're living down towards Mountain Lake Park or south of there. No issues for you as this storm continues to plug away pretty quickly. Now, our future radar, let's put this into motion over the next 2 hours or so. Should take it through Cumberland around 9:30 or so, 9:40, then continue to move along I-68 over towards Hancock and Berkeley Springs around 10 o'clock or a little after 10 p.m. So I'd expect, if it holds its strength, that this storm will continue to impact Washington County here as the next 45 to 50 minutes or so. So if you're living in Washington County, especially northern Washington County, keep your eye on this storm and stay with us. Planning for evening tonight, partly cloudy, and mostly cloudy here in the district. We shouldn't see that storm at all. That's going to stay off to the north, and temperatures at this point in time look to be in towards the 70s. So the weather headlines here, again, isolated mountain storms tonight, dry elsewhere, mainly a dry Easter on Sunday. I'll show you who may be impacted with a few rain showers. And then Monday night showers and a dry and nice midweek. We'll break it down with that 7 days, I always do. Back to you.
Thank you, Scott. New tonight, it's been exactly 1 week since someone shot and killed a Loudoun County teenager. Investigators found his body in a Broadlands parking lot. Earlier this evening, loved ones gathered there to remember him. DC News Now's Dave Laval with the heartbreaking story of a young life taken too soon.
Nick, you will be missed and you will always be loved.
Overwhelming grief filled the parking lot at Ashburn's Harris Teeter Saturday night as friends and family remembered Nicholas Mejia, among them classmates at Riverside High School.
I can't even put into words how much I miss him. I was with him every day.
He was the sweetest person I've ever met.
Loudoun County Sheriff's deputies found the 16-year-old shot to death in a car exactly 1 week earlier. Detectives said Mejia had been shot on Hillmont Terrace, but he only made it in a car to Harris Teeter.
Is that he was such a beautiful soul, and he was somebody that will always try to make people laugh.
Members of Mejia's family also spoke at the ceremony.
My brother was never selfish. He would give you the shirt off his back.
He just really loved his friends and his family. He really loved his nephew, who's my son, and he really enjoyed living life to the fullest.
2 people, including a juvenile, remain in custody, accused of Mejia's murder. The funeral for Nick Mejia takes place next Saturday afternoon in Leesburg. In Ashburn, Virginia, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen is now back in the U.S. after a trip to El Salvador. The senator visiting the Central American country to meet with wrongfully deported Kilmar Abrego Garcia. DC News Now's Max Marcillo was at Dulles International Airport to hear from Van Hollen as he returned.
Senator Chris Van Hollen greeting Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife Jennifer with a hug, having just met with her husband a day earlier in El Salvador.
This case is not just about one man. It's about protecting the constitutional rights of everybody who resides in the United States of America.
After ICE officials detained him in Prince George's County last month, Abrego Garcia was sent on a plane to Socote, a notorious prison in El Salvador. The deportation was deemed a mistake by government lawyers because Abrego Garcia had an order barring him from being sent to El Salvador.
He was traumatized by being at CCOT.
9 days ago, he was moved to another prison, one he tells Senator Van Hollen has better conditions, but he's still blocked from the outside world.
His conversation with me was the first communication he'd had with anybody outside a prison since he was abducted.
But even this meeting came with controversy. The senator called Margarita Gate. He says Salvadoran government officials placed these drinks on the table, appearing to be some sort of drink with a salt or sugar rim. The photos released by El Salvador President Nayib Bukele, who says the men were sipping margaritas. Van Hollen says, look at the rims. No sips were taken.
This is a lesson into the lengths that President Bukele will do to deceive people about what's going on.
All of this as the Trump administration shares allegations that Abrego Garcia is a gang member, which his attorneys deny. Van Hollen with this message.
So I say to the president of the Trump administration, if you want to make claims about Mr. Abrego Garcia and MS-13, you should present them in the court, not over social media.
Senator Van Hollen says Abrego Garcia told him he's sad that he's in prison because he has not committed any crimes. New developments as the Supreme Court is blocking the Trump administration from deporting Venezuelans in North Texas. The High Court saying for now, the administration can't use the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 for deportations. Before this year, that law was last used to put Japanese Americans in internment camps during World War II. Hundreds of protesters rallied outside the White House today against the policies of the Trump administration. It's one of more than 700 rallies and community events around the country. The demonstrations were organized under the 50-51 movement, which describes itself as a, quote, national movement made up of everyday Americans who stand for democracy and who stand against the authoritarian actions of the Trump administration. National protests call for a day of action, urging participants to hold donation drives for food and clothes and other activities to benefit their local communities. Part of the protest in D.C. today demanded the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Maryland is one step closer to cracking down on retail theft around the state. State Senator Ron Watson introduced a bill that says if the amount stolen is at least $1,500, everyone involved in the crime will be charged with a felony. Plus, anyone involved in a series of thefts over 90 days totaling $1,500 worth of items are stolen, it would also be a felony. Retail theft has been an ongoing problem around the DMV. In Maryland, someone has to steal $1,500 worth of merchandise for it to be considered a felony, but often more than one person is involved, and those people will steal less than that to avoid the more serious charge.
I've heard from our retailers for many, many years, and I've watched our businesses fold as they would explain to me, there's more product going out the back door than it is coming in through the front.
Watson's bill is waiting for the governor to sign it into law. After it cleared the Maryland General Assembly, it would take effect this October 1st. Metro train riders can expect delays on the Red Line this weekend. WMATA says crews are doing track work maintenance. Today and tomorrow, the Brookland Metro station will be closed. Red Line services are unavailable at Fort Totten. Crews will be replacing the switch machines where trains cross between the tracks. Free shuttle buses are available between Rhode Island Avenue and Tacoma stations. And if you're traveling through Virginia this weekend, you may encounter a bright yellow sign at a rest stop. The Virginia Department of Transportation says 300 of them will go up across rest stops in Virginia, all with the same message: slow down, arrive alive. The department is looking to crack down and raise awareness about the dangers of speeding. VDOT says 410 people died from speeding-related crashes in 2024. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday, and Tudor Place got ahead of the curve by hosting its annual Eggstravaganza today. This spring tradition started at 10:30 this morning and welcomed children of all ages to take photos with the Easter Bunny, search for Easter eggs, participate in the egg roll on the South Lawn, make art, play games, participate in an obstacle course, and plenty more. Coming up on DC News Now, we are helping you stretch your dollar as you make Easter plans, where you can hunt for the deals on treats to fill the baskets. Also ahead, the debate over the outdoor dining in the district, the concerns some groups have with streeteries sticking around permanently. Taking a live look outside at Roslyn. Stay with us. We'll be right back.